Happy Thursday, everybody, and welcome again. Every day is truth. I'm telling you. All right. So, oh man, sorry I've taken a little bit of a season to do some stuff, moving around, things like that. But also, what I've done is I've been a part of a group that we study Proverbs. And pardon me again, guys, I came to faith late in life, so I may be playing catch up for some of you guys out there who maybe know this stuff better. But I just want to talk to my brothers and sisters out there who have eyes to see and ears to hear. So I'm being guided by not only my mentors, but also just to, as you can imagine, by our Father to bring this up to you guys. So things like Proverbs chapter 3, very simple stuff, couple of verses here, guys. So I love Proverbs because if you're not into it, get into it. Because it's such a coin, like it's a side of a coin. So it's like truth or lie. It's that simple. So 5 through 8 here real quick. So and I've highlighted this stuff in green for good and orange and red or pink for bad. So trust in the Lord with all your heart. Okay, green, and lean not on your own understanding. Bad stuff. Okay, don't lean on your own understanding. In all ways, submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. Green. Okay, here's some red part here. All right. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Green for the rest of the verses here. Fear the Lord and shun evil. This will bring health to your body and nourishment to your bones. Let me go back to the do not be wise in your own eyes, guys. And even my leader, the guy who's leading this group, talked about how, nonprofits and for-profits and nonprofits, stuff like that, and how is it that we're allowing our little g government to get in the way? Who made all nonprofits righteous, if I can use that word? So, and that's why I put a new thumbnail out there and new business cards and I'm plastering this up everywhere. It's probably on my LinkedIn and all that kind of stuff too. But and that's why, folks, we're going live here in 4 different places at once. So I'm on Facebook, Rumble, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So make sure you guys are following me. And I'm a guy that's going to tell you the daggum truth. I'm a guy that's going to tell you to come chat with me. And teamwork makes the dream work. Good enough for Jesus, good enough for me. All right. So I help everybody, whether you're 18, 80, anywhere in between. All right. I can say words like and statements like all things VA. I can talk to you about all things VA. There's a lot of things I don't do. I'm not a lawyer and I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to do things for you. I won't even do certain things with you. I can only shine lights on, hey, you served, you earned, here's the money you've earned, here's where pay charts are, stuff like that, right? So those are the things that I briefly do and briefly don't do. My job is to shine a light on the money that you've earned out there. So you could, my clients are the warriors in or out of service and your families. And this is why I can talk to you about 3 levels of money. There's right now money, mid-range money for your kids in college. There's even long-range death benefit money out there for you guys. So just for an example, I just had a client of mine who we call him LAPD Steve. So he did 4 years, 1 stint in the Corps back in the 70s, right after Vietnam. And then he got out and did 35 years with the LAPD. Then did 10 more years with the Homeland Security. So my point to saying him as a credible source here is not only did he serve, not only did he not do anything for a long time for himself, 55 years, didn't do anything VA-wise. And I was able to help him get from 20% to 100% permanent total within a year. I'm not saying that's the standard. I'm just saying it is. It's fruit, okay? Jesus says good trees can only produce good fruit. Bad trees can't produce good fruit, so on and so forth. So LAPD Steve. So he asked me the other day, because he's 74 years old, he said, Albert, so how long should I stay with you as a client? And I just want to clarify to everybody out there, my clients start with me and stay with me for years. That's what it's designed for. That's why I'm a for-profit, is because my clients do start with me and stay with me for years. So let's just go with Steve for an example here, because he's 74 years old. I can tell you stuff and by the way, he has family who cares about him. He's not, I've had a client in the past who said that he was around Steve's age and he didn't have any family to care for. So he had nobody to relinquish death benefit money to and all that kind of stuff, which is obviously in and of itself sad. Okay. But back to Steve. So Steve, LAPD Steve, has family who, pardon me, but gives a shit about him, cares about him. And I said, Steve, let's flash forwards 15, 20 years. You die in your bed. What do you have at that point in time if we maintain our relationship? You've got a VA accredited attorney, which, by the way, he and I both share an attorney. I call him Attorney Bill. So Attorney Bill is my representative, and Attorney Bill represents him. And Attorney Bill and I are the same age, so we're mid-40s. So we're not going anywhere, that's for sure. Nobody's promised tomorrow, but all we get is today. So, but let's say, just for this example, that Steve lives 15 years. I'm still around. His wife's still around. His other kids and stuff like that, and grandkids and probably great grandkids or whatever by then are around. And so he's got family who cares about him. Right now money, not so much. I mean, yeah, sure, there's some right now money, mid-range money for his kids in college. Okay, that's off the table. But what about death benefit money? So I can help guide. So what I want for Steve is Steve's widow on the day of his death. I want them to know that I'm here, that Lawyer Bill is still here, that when he dies, that the coroner's report will reflect appropriately in a fast, expedient way, that his wife gets paid, let's call it $3,000 a month, because it's service-connected death benefit money out there, $3,000 a month for the next 10 years, which is $300,000. And let's say that starts immediately. Do you know why? Because Lawyer Bill is going to call the VA and say, hey, you know what, guys, we lost Steve today. We have the death certificate, and it shows that he is connected, service-connected death benefit. Make sure you get that to his spouse, his widow. And the VA goes, roger that, paying time now, over. Isn't that what you guys all want to hear? And, Albert's still around. By then, we've got more lawyers out there. We've got more good stuff. Hopefully the government gets whittled down. But, again, I doubt it. Only, as a pastor said recently, Pastor Mark out there said, evil will do evil things. The only people that can stop it is good men or good people. So I know my Bible right here says, help your people that are your brothers and sisters, help the people ahead of you, help the folks older than you, help the folks behind you. That's why I'm here, guys. I don't like to be on camera. This is just this is my cross to bear. Trust me, it is a cross to bear, man. So I just want to tell you guys the truth all the time truth. All right. So there's right now money, mid-range money for your kids in college, long-range death benefits. So you guys, as you'll see from my thumbnail, all things VA questions, ask me. And I'm during the summers, we usually turn off this money briefing that we do. And it sounds weird, but honestly, LinkedIn was like algorithms out there. We just killing stuff like this. So make sure you guys are reaching out. And there's never too early. There's only too late. And I don't mean to scare you. I'm just saying Proverbs would tell you something like that, or life should tell you stuff like that. Wisdom, I'm going to bring that to the room right now. Wisdom would tell you that life is never too early, but there is too late. So, guys, all things VA. If you don't believe me, go ask a VSO. Hey, VSO, tell me about VA home loan stuff. Hey, VA home loan stuff, tell me about college money for the kids. Hey, any of you guys, tell me about death benefit money. So my job for working for Big G God is I highlight and say, hey, 3 things, guys. Number 1 is God's promise for you, for your abundance and fulfillment. Number 2, you've already served, so you've already earned the money, okay? Or you're serving now. Thirdly is it's harvest time, as Proverbs said. It's time to harvest. So I can't harvest for you, can't wake you up, can't roll you out of bed, neither will your attorney, neither will your doctor, neither will your wife. You got to take care of yourself. And this is the place for you to take care of yourself with other people who are taking care of themselves. I've already taken care of myself and my family, money-wise, to the best of my abilities, to the current status. And fruit, guys, fruit. So I'm going to go back to this line again. Do not be wise in your own eyes. I'm telling you, my own relatives think that they're so wise in their own eyes. And even people that are around me that have known me for years, like, oh, it's just Albert, whatever. He was a jokester and all that kind of stuff. Man, through God's grace, I've delivered over $10 billion to the deadliest humans on earth who hug me. You can't really see it very well, but there's a Soft Week thing back there. Okay, so I go to Soft Week as often as I can. I don't make it all the time, but I would go to those events a million times out of the year. When I go there, I get hugs. Albert, God bless. And the last thing they say, God bless. You're the only one out there who's helping us. So I go to where killers are, folks, every single time I can. Getting on camera right now. I don't care about the good or the bad. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do because that's my calling. And if you don't like it, take it up with our Heavenly Father, and you can pray about it all you want to. So, but once you found your path, you hopefully do what I'm doing and go, you know what? That's right. That is truth. I'm hearing some truth here. I have ears to hear, eyes to see, and I'm supposed to take care of myself. I'm supposed to take care of my family. I had pardon me, but I go where the wild things are. I was at a bar, and there was an 80-something-year-old retiree there, and he flew. I was going to say Chinooks. It's not Chinooks. He flew C-130s. There's a C in there, so he always catches me. So he flew C-130s for years, and he told me, he said that he knows with confidence that his wife will receive $600 a month when he dies. And I said, okay, can I play a little bit of positive I told you so and negative I told you so? Positively, I want to help you, but negatively, I've never heard the word $600. I've never heard that term. So I don't know if he's just too old and his money hasn't caught up yet, but I have no idea what that is. Also, I said, by the way, how do you know that? Because you're still alive. Do you know how many widows out there are messed with by the government? And do you know why? The major linchpin is because the husband didn't do their job. The husband didn't take care of himself, and then therefore is now hurting others. So if you don't believe me, go listen to Gold Star Families. Just walk in knowing what you know now. Jesus says wisdom is a math problem. It's knowledge plus wisdom, or action rather. And go in and listen. Just hear and just listen, and you're going to hear the same grumblings that husband didn't take care of himself. The money stopped. She's not getting any money, and there's nothing they can do about it, or not much they can do about it at this time. Which, by the way, guys, I don't charge widows. I charge you guys, so I don't have to charge widows. So there you go. All right. So back to this guy. So he retired pilot in his 80s. So he said that he knows for certain that his wife is going to get $600 a month. So I said, well, one, I've never heard of $600, so we'll circle back to that. But two, how do you know that? Because you're still alive. And I'm not going to keep counting numbers here, but what team do you have? Because with me, there's VA Accredited Veterans Rights Attorneys that represent you from the very beginning. And so they're there to help feed and fight and all things in between. They do things, make phone calls and put, I don't call it pressure, but they do what lawyers do. They make phone calls, they send emails, and they create positive outcomes, or they fight for the righteous outcome. Anyway, but my point is, there is math out there, and one of them is $2,000 a month. That's for an accidental death. So when you get to 100% permanent total, folks, there's a time clock that starts. When you get to 100% permanent total, there's a time clock that starts. And there's two of them. There's two clocks. One of them is for your marriage, and the other one is for your time at being 100%. I call it 10 years because it may be less than that, but let's call it 10 years. So 10 years at both. Your 10 years of being married, 10 years of 100% permanent total. 11th year, you fall off the roof, hanging Christmas lights, accidental death. Your wife will receive accidental death, $2,000 a month in today's dollars for the rest of her life. Not bad. Not bad. All right. Because mostly if that happens to folks around my age that are, let's say, 30s, 40s, 50s, we got several more decades to live. And I'm no mathematician here, but 2,000 for an accidental death sounds a hell of a lot better than $600. Service-connected death is even more than that. It's currently about $3,000 a month. That's why I brought that up earlier. So I can tell you stuff like this. $3,000 a month. If you want to look it up, look it up. So don't ask me. Ask. There's all kinds of pay charts out there, right? When we're in service, folks, that we know what that means. We know what jump pay means. We know what flight pay means, hazard pay, all that stuff, COLA. We know what all that stuff means, right? So there are pay charts out there. Well, the VA creates pay stuff too. So like SMCS, CRSC, all that kind of stuff. And I'm not going to get into details of what all that stuff is, but it's out there, and I hold it up from time to time. So I'm talking to you about death benefit money that nobody's out there talking about. So what I would say for Steve and his family is, you got me for as long as it takes, And what's going to happen is, my clients, I've been doing this for almost 10 years. My clients send me their literal family tree, their work family tree. So yes, my clients start with me and stay with me for years. That is the design of my business practice, because that's what God has told us to do. Take care of yourself, take care of the people ahead of you, take care of the people behind you. And that's what I do with faith and vigor. So guys, I've taken up a good chunk of your time today, so I appreciate you watching us. Again, don't just like and subscribe and all that kind of stuff. Of course, do that. Take care of yourself. Go to my website. Get on my calendar. Let's talk. Send this to your buddies. Fling seeds, as Jesus would say. It's not up to you to dig them up and plant and tend to everything. Dust yourself off after every daggum conversation. Get out there, help your buddies. Help me help them. So if teamwork is good enough for Jesus, good enough for me. Amen. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. God bless.